Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that each and every one of you are here. So, in today's video, we are going to talk about signs that you might be going through a spiritual awakening and might not know it. Okay, so first of all, disclaimer. I am going to be talking about physical symptoms. And with that, I'm not giving medical advice. Check with your medical professional and everything else. This is more for if you're experiencing certain symptoms and there's no underlying medical cause. So use your own discernment and just know that. Okay, so one of the signs that you might be waking up is if you're randomly waking up at odd times of the night, or if you like have a different schedule and you're waking up during the day. So like if you work graveyard and you sleep during the day and then you find yourself waking up at random times. Most often it's going to be between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. And then, obviously flip that if you work graveyard, etc. But it is common to find yourself waking up at those times of night. Um, yeah, sometimes it can be random. It can be from dreams. It can be just like in it's just kind of like randomly you're just waking up and then you might look at the clock and go, oh, it's 3 o'clock. If you're getting 333 a lot, definitely pay attention to that. That's going to lead me into number two, which is number synchronicities. So if you all of a sudden start noticing 1111, 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, etc., and then like 1234, or mirroring numbers where it's 1221, um that can be very indicative of a spiritual awakening. And with that, each number holds a different frequency. And so you can look those numbers up and just search something like 1111 spiritual number meaning, or angel number meaning, or number synchronicity. And it'll come up with different different meanings and different resonances for that specific number. You could also be getting ringing in the ears. So that would be point number three. And again, this is one of those, check with your doctor, make sure it's not tinnitus, something going on. But we start picking up on frequencies differently when we're going through the awakening process. And so you can kind of think about it as like turning online almost. And so there's like an integration process that is happening when you're waking up. Um, Number four would be other synchronicities. And so this can be where all of a sudden you start noticing animals a lot more in a synchronistic way. And so it's all of a sudden you'll be thinking of something and then a squirrel goes by. And then you notice a couple days later you're thinking about something similar and a squirrel goes by again. And it will start to get your attention, like, oh, maybe there's something here. And then with that you can also look up, it would be I'm trying to think of what I look up. So you put in the animal and then spiritual meaning. Yeah. If you do that, then that will pull up a few really good websites. A couple that I've gone to, there's like spirit animal something, and then what is my spirit animal is another really good one. And um that's just what I personally use. I'm not sponsored or anything by them, but those are just some good starting off points. And of course, with this, your intuition and your discernment is also going to be turning back like turning online fully. And I almost said back online, and that's something else, just a little side note that spirit I feel like wants me to say right now. Um when we are children, a lot of these gifts and abilities are turned on and then they close off and shut down as life and society and all of that happens, and then we can go through a waking up process where all of a sudden these start to turn back on. So, little side note there. So maybe that's another thing that could be coming up actually. So we'll turn that into the next point. I think we're on number 5. You could start having memories of gifts and abilities that you had when you were a child. And so that does happen where all of a sudden you're like, I used to see things, or I used to hear things, or I used to just know things. I used to say things and freak people out. Um, that kind of thing. So that's another sign. So then we would be at number 6, which is you might start noticing that you're extremely sensitive to things. Now, this can be all things. This can be because if you think about it energetically, this can be certain foods, this can be certain environments, certain people, maybe your job. Um, what else? Lights. You might start having a sensitivity to light. Sounds, I don't know if I said sounds. Um, yeah, anything that you put on or in your body as well. So maybe you find yourself start breaking out in rashes with the detergent that you've been using for years, and all of a sudden now your skin's breaking out when you use it. Um, what that is we go through a sensitivity process, and that's really when we're being asked to remove toxins from our environment and from our lifestyle. So just pay attention to those, and there's messages in there for you. What else? I think we're on number 6, 7. I lost count. Two, two, two. Okay, this is the fun one. So I think, oh man, are we on 6 or 7? Okay, well, 6 or 7 because I last count. Um, you could be experiencing a knowing that something, there's something else going on. You can't quite place it. It's not tangible. It's not, how do I explain this? It's just a knowing, basically. It's where you're like, there's more going on here. There's more to, just like the animals, right? Like there's more to this than is meeting the eye, and you just start picking up on it. This can also be when we start to come into the awareness that there are no coincidences. And that's another big one as well, is once you understand there's no coincidences and you're being talked to by spirit, basically, source, God, universe, the divine, whatever you want to term it, your angels, spirit guides, etc. Once you understand that there are no coincidences, that can be a game changer, because then you can really start tuning into your unique gifts and abilities. And that leads me into, so if you're starting to notice that you have a knowing, or maybe you're starting to see things a little different, you're starting to pick up on different colors, maybe you're picking up on orbs, maybe you're picking up on something weird happening with the lights, sound, maybe you're picking up on different noises, things like that. I do have a video where I talk about the different clairs, which are our extrasensory perceptions. And so I will link that below. And that way, if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and check that out and see if maybe you've got some clairs turning on. Which if you're here and you're watching this video, you probably do. Just a little spoiler. What else? Okay. So we were at 6 or 7. So now we are at 7 or 8. Um, okay, this one is ascension symptoms. Now, again, this is another medical thing. Just do your due diligence, etc. Um, with that, what you can experience things like flu-like symptoms, headaches, dizziness, lightheadedness, it's kind of this ungrounded feeling where you're just kind of like, "Whoa." Um, nausea, gastrointestinal symptoms, vomiting, that kind of thing. You can also experience weird just sensations within or around your body. And what's happening is your chakra system is turning on in a different way and clearing things out that no longer serve, that no longer resonate for you. And with that, that's what leads into that sensitivity area or phase rather, where it's just all of a sudden you're like, I can't eat the same things anymore. I can't handle processed foods anymore, or, whatever. It's different for everybody. And so just pay attention to that. And also know that sometimes if you're getting like these symptoms, it can just be because you're energetically clearing blockages in different parts of your body. So that's a little side note. Again, check with your doctor first. Um, that is something that happens though. Uh So what are we at? 8 or 9, I think. You could be experiencing energetic waves. And what this is it can start at the crown on the top of your head, and it can feel like you literally have like energy running through your system, running through your body, running through your energetic field. Um, you can feel confirmation. You can feel energy go moving up and down your spine. That's another common one. What are some other common ones? Like it can almost feel like a tingle, like a almost like a rain down your head kind of feeling, but it's like energetic. Um, it's hard to explain, but I'm picking up that for those of you who are experiencing that, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's what that is. So hopefully that helps. Because there's weird things that happen when you go through a spiritual awakening. It's weird and it's awesome and it's weird. Um, so we are at what, 9 or 10? We're just going with it. Okay. Uh, this one's fun. It can feel like your life is falling apart. 100%. Um, this is yeah. This is the part of spiritual awakening that can be really intense. And there's no sugarcoating it, where all of a sudden it's people that you thought were going to be friends for life, you know, it- there's like a dissonance all of a sudden. Maybe there was a career path that you're like, I'm going to do this career. And it was something you were going to do, since you were like a teenager. And then you went down this path and you know, took the necessary steps to have this career. And then all of a sudden it's like, this isn't what I want to do. It can be, you can wake up and look at your significant other and be like, like, I don't really know if I want to, like, I don't know if this is working anymore. Um, it's it can be pretty intense. And just understand when this is happening, it's the universe, it's the universe, the divine, God, whatever you want to term it. It's the universe really helping you to realign your life. And so this is the thing to understand. When you go through a spiritual awakening, it's literally your spirit waking up to the fact that you're having a human experience. And so with that, you've operated as a human having a potential spiritual experience or just a human experience. Then all of a sudden you go through a spiritual awakening, and what is happening is you start to understand you are a spiritual being, a limitless, infinite spiritual being having a human experience, and all those things that you thought were going to align with you and make you happy and etc., don't align anymore because now your spirit is coming online and saying, hey, we're actually a whole lot more than what you thought we were. And the less, I know you say this from experience, the less you fight this process, the easier it will be. So just some words of advice. Um, you know, it'll all work out anyways. So if you fight the process and you're stubborn, uh it you're going against the universe and ultimately yourself at a different level. You're going against your higher self. Your higher self is like, hey man, this is really what we want to do. Trust me. I promise you. I can see things from a different perspective, and you're going to want to do it this way. And then the human self is like, I don't want to. And your higher self is like, I mean, you can fight it. It's just going to be a little more painful that way. But I mean, it's all love. So, it was just a little side note. Um, what are we at? Okay, so I think we're at what, 10 or 11 now? Um, I've got my little notes off to the side so I didn't forget anything. We've got deep diving on subjects. Okay. Oh, so this is our last one. So deep diving on subjects in an unquenchable thirst for knowledge on potentially esoteric subjects. And so this may, if you're just starting to wake up, if you're just starting to see number synchronicities, you might not fully be here yet. And keep that in mind. Some of the ones that I've talked about, you might not quite be there yet. Just little heads up, this might be coming. Um, it is very, very common to all of a sudden pick up this like insane thirst for knowledge. Once you kind of like jump off the cliff a little bit and you're just like, this is really happening. I'm really having an awakening. I'm really a spiritual being having a human experience. Like, this is pretty cool. Then all of a sudden, it just starts like, okay, I need to know about this. I need to know about that. I need to know about this. I need to know about that. And the thing is, I say embrace it. Um, embrace it and have fun with it and let yourself go crazy. And also, this would be my little caveat side note here. Make sure that when you're deep diving on all of these subjects, understand that there are multiple different understandings and perceptions of things, especially now. Um, we've got uh, the information is a little trickier to come by on certain subjects. So I would recommend to really do some work on understanding the difference between your truth and somebody else's truth. And that is going to come. And so if you're like, I don't know what's true, release it and go with it and ask yourself because you know your truth. And so this is where we stop giving away our power to everybody else and we take our power back, not in an egotistical way, not in a narcissistic way, in a empowered, confident way where it's this is my truth and understand some of that might change as you go along and that's okay. Just when you're seeking to find your personal truth, that's a beautiful journey to be on. And make sure that you are approaching it from a place of finding the truth, not coming up with like it's the confirmation bias concept where you are deciding what your truth is going to be and then finding things to support it. Do your best to go into it is like, okay, what are the alternatives? What is the other side of this story? What would be the bias or the motivation for this side of the story, right? Because there's always multiple sides of every story, and then somewhere in the middle is a truth. And, from your perspective is where your truth is going to lie on that spectrum. So, I would just that would be my little recommendation there because, we live in the information age where you can find anything and everything you want to support or disprove anything that you're inquiring about. So, with that, another way that you can really tap in and tune in and get in touch with yourself is to unplug for a while. And that way you'll be able to have more of a discerning place from within to navigate you. That'll be your compass, right? Find your north, your true north, and then go based on that. And then just make sure that it's, in alignment for you and it's for your highest good. And it will lead you where you need to go. So it's beautiful. Well, if you found yourself on this video, welcome. I'm so excited for you and your spiritual journey. It is amazing. And it's one of those, there's no going back, and you wouldn't want to, anyways. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave this video here. If you like this message, you can hit that like button. If any of these resonate with you, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if there's any that I missed, definitely put those in the comments too. Um, I'm definitely curious about other symptoms and, signs that you guys are going through. So definitely let me know. And if you would like to see more messages from me, you can hit that subscribe button. It is free, it doesn't cost anything. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.